Hello, 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 everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I'm just getting set up here. I do apologize for being slightly late. I want to get a setup going and then that way go ahead and start on the pictures. So bear with me just a brief moment if you're coming in, if you watch this later. I just want to make sure I've got everything set up so that way I can be able to best see you guys chatting and things like that when you come in. So that way I'm able to respond properly the to the to the comments and things like that. So I wanted to get that make that happen for you guys. So anyway, how's everybody doing on this Sunday, March the 3rd, 2019? How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. Something in what I do or say encourages you guys and that you will, grow and, enjoy it and different things like that. So we're going to go ahead. I'm in the process of seeing this. I'm just wanting highlights it on my video side once it comes up, and then we will go ahead and get the comments up, and we'll go from there. So anyway, just a little heads up. What's going to happen is I've got a few requests that I've gotten in over the last few weeks, and so I'm going to put those requests in first, and then if you have a particular request that you would like, put that down in the comments, and as soon as I get done with these first three, I will be compiling a list of those so that way I can get it. If for some reason um, you have a particular uh, request and I need to be able to see that request, please go ahead and make sure to give me either Instagram or somewhere like that. My Instagram is Will Holland 9973. So if you want to send it to the inbox there, that I can get it, or my inbox even here on the YouTube. So anyway, we're going to get started. The first one was a request made by Jingles Rasco a few weeks ago. He wanted to see me do a firestorm. So I'm going to go ahead and begin that process and get firestorm going. So I want to go ahead and make that happen here. And I'll tell you a little bit about Firestorm while I'm working on this. Firestorm, my first experience with Firestorm was actually in the Super Friends cartoon from years ago. And Firestorm was a character that was actually two characters. There was the Professor Stern, and then there was Ronnie. And basically, what happened was is that they would fuse together to become this new person, and they would become Firestorm. You had kind of the scientist in Professor Stern. You had the kind of cocky, arrogant teenager in Ronnie. And so there'd be certain things that would happen. For those of you who may have seen Legends of Tomorrow, Firestorm has been put in there a few different times. They made the Ronnie character be, and I can't think of her name right now, Caitlin Snow's fiance, as a matter of fact. And so they were going to get married, and then he sacrificed himself. Yes, definitely being blessed, Jingles Rasco. I'm glad you're enjoying this because, like I said, I put this in. I kind of blocked them in. So I got so I wanted to make sure that I got that done. So anyway, so Ronnie is a character that he needed a little bit of guidance in his life. He was working with Professor Stern, and that's how they got fused in what's called the Firestorm Matrix. And then when they got fused in the Matrix that was Firestorm, that basically the two people became one person who was able to fuse together to change not only their molecular structure, but also they were able to like do these crazy sciencey things. For example, they would actually merge together and then go through, they would be fighting a bad guy, and all of a sudden one of them would end up making a gun, a different type of, like a cotton candy or something like that. So that way, they wouldn't be able to fight properly and everything like that. And so Firestorm would do that. And so they could only hold together for so long, and then of course they would have to separate and go back to being Professor Stern and Ronnie. But the cooler thing about it too is that even in the cartoon, you had these moments where, "Hello, Size Corner, how are you? I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you like what you see." And so Professor Stern, of course, taught chemistry at the school that Ronnie was going to, and so of course there'd be these times when they would exist. "Well, hello there, Clarendale Dell. How are you? We're just rocking in. We got a few people coming in, so we're just talking amongst ourselves." Like I said earlier, and I will kind of reiterate this as time goes on, if you have requests, put them in the comments below. I will definitely go ahead and look at those. So everybody's doing good. That's awesome. I like to hear that. So anyway, I was just continuing to talk about Professor Stein. Now in um, Legends of Tomorrow, you ended up doing a second Firestorm, and there was a young kid that was in there. And even in the comics, there was a young black kid. I can't think of his name, but he became the second Firestorm to merge with Professor Stein. And I know in the comics, for example, they even did a thing where basically it was kind of like they did like a Firestorm War where you had Ronnie at one point merged with him. Jax, there we go. I couldn't think of the name. So yeah, Jax was the second Firestorm. And like I said, he was also the Jax that was in the what happened was Jax came up, he formed with the professor, and then in Legends of Tomorrow, there was a point where the professor sacrificed himself in order to help save the team. So, anyway, this is more of the Super Friends version. This is more of the version that I got from that because I grew up on this version of Firestorm, and then I saw the other Firestorms later. I do like the Blackest Night Firestorm stuff for the Brightest Day, because I know, for example, in the Brightest Day, Firestorm became a bigger player, kind of that whole Brightest Day thing. So that was really interesting and cool as well. So it was neat to get the chance to see that character in a different light. So I thought that was really cool and pretty awesome, as a matter of fact. Okay, so one thing that's really cool about the professor in the cartoon especially was you would always see the professor's head outside of the body. Whatever thing, you'd see the head kind of floating around. And so I thought that was really cool dynamic. Even with Justice League Action, I need something to prop up my phone if I ever want to do a live stream. Real good friend of mine, because I use my phone, and a real good friend of mine actually got me a stand off of Amazon for Christmas. And so that was man, check phone stands on Amazon if you use your phone. Because they're pretty inexpensive. She didn't tell me how much it was, of course, because it was a Christmas present, but she let me know that it wasn't too bad if I needed to get a bigger one or something like that. And then like Walmart, sometimes they have stands like that too. So anyway, don't feel pressured by it. If you do start with what you got, work with what you can, and then eventually you'll get where you want to go. So that's what I'd always recommend. But anyway, this is Professor Stein. You already saw the little head outside everything. Oh, so in Bold and the Brave it was Jackson and Ronnie. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I think that was the version that we got in Blackest Night. I think. I don't remember which version it was. I know he was in there, Blackest Night, and then Brightest Day was in there as well. But that's pretty cool. Brave and the Bold did a lot with Blue Beetle too. I really like that show for that reason. Because it focused a lot on the younger heroes. I know Batman was a big part of it, but Batman was in all of them because, of course, it's Batman. But it was really cool to see them focus on younger heroes like Blue Beetle and Firestorm. I thought that was really neat. And I know Justice League Action, it is the Professor Stein version with Ronnie. And so, because he always, and the thing about it that's really interesting too is that Professor Stein never calls him Ronnie, even though everybody else that knows him does. He always refers to him as Ronald. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. So just to let you guys know, these are going to be going to have time to really go in and ink them super heavy. I may do some light shadow work in there, but I want to make sure to get y'all's requests in. If you've got different requests, if you got character requests, things like that. And Cordelia, did you ever see the one I did with your dog in Deadpool? Because I actually did a video with your dog in Deadpool a while back. So I didn't know if you saw it because I don't think I ever got a comment from you on it. I did make a mistake. I did end up drawing the dog as a different type of dog. I think I ended up drawing it as more of like a Chihuahua instead of a Dachshund. So during the events of Blackest Night, Ronnie had been killed, and it was the new kids that made up Firestorm, which Professor Stein was an informant. So it's kind of like Professor Stein was like the third agent in the Firestorm Matrix, I guess. That's pretty interesting. Blackest Night, Brightest Day also introduced Aqualad into the DC world, which I love Aqualad. He always calls Jax Jackson, even though everybody else calls him Jax. I didn't see it. Yeah, it's in. It should be one. It should be one with a Deadpool and a dog. I think it's the title of it or something like that. So, yeah, because I did it. I did do it. So, anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of shadow work on this. And then we'll go on to the next one. Make sure to get some good shadow work. And I like to give it a little bit of three-dimensionality. I don't want to just have drawings just be flat. Not been getting a lot of my notifications. Yeah, I kind of went through a phase where I wasn't getting notifications either. Like Jingles Rascal's channel, I don't get a whole lot of your notifications. Like I'll see your videos and I'll watch them. You know, of course the live stream was there, but I didn't get notifications for that prior, which I thought was really interesting. Because I thought I should have gotten the notifications, but I did not for some reason. Okay, I'm going to wear that out there. Get some more water in my ink there, so come back behind there and hit that in the back. There. I had to put some more water in my brush. I didn't realize it was going to come out that bad, or come out that dark. Try to do this so I can separate Professor Stein out from Firestorm a little bit. YouTube has been weird lately, but you know what? We just roll. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's life. You know, sometimes life doesn't give us everything we should have all the time. But you know what? We just roll with it because that's the way life works. Some things we can't control. I ain't got time to get upset about it. You know, we just move on and do the best we can. I know people that are our fans that love us and appreciate us. You know, they'll be around as much as they can. You know, and even though I don't always get the notifications, it doesn't mean that I don't. That I the videos I like. It just means I may have to hunt for them. I may have to go to the person's channel and be like, hey, did they put out any videos recently? I didn't see any videos. I need to know. So, yeah. Now, these next two drawings that I'm going to be doing, I honestly don't have the names in front of me of the people. I have to maybe hunt for them in here in a bit. I got a request to do this character. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that character and then put that next one through. So I don't want to cover up everything because that's part of Ronnie's outfits going through there. Make sure to kind of pick that up. So there's Professor Stein. And the thing about the head that's cool too with Professor Stein is that he kind of just shows up wherever. Kind of behind Ronald, or sometimes he'll be in front of Ronald trying to warn him about danger or something like that. Or he'll say something chemical. He'll be like, well, you know, a robot shooting lasers at us, and Professor Stein will be like, well, what if the robots became as soft as plastic? Then they would no longer be robots, would they? And so that Firestorm kind of works around it as best he can and figures out how to change the genetic structure of the robots so they're not as deadly. Or sometimes he'll change the lasers into like cotton candy or something, you know. So it's kind of silly. There's a bit of a comedy element to him that I like as well. So I'm going to look up this next person, so bear with me just a minute, guys. Just want to look up the next person that I'm doing this drawing for, so that way I can, and I thought I had this information here in front of me. Just give me just a second, guys. I'm going to search a little bit because I need to find this next person's name before I start doing his character. And like I said, this is a request that I got a couple of weeks ago. And now this next guy's, and one thing I will say about Jingles Rascal's channel right off, guys, I love his channel. I love the work that he does. If you get a chance to go check out Jingles Rascal's, and when I get done with the video, I'll make sure to put a link to Jingles Rascal's channel. He does awesome stuff. He just did the new starter Pokemon on his channel, and it was real cool. I got to be on a live stream with him a couple of days ago for that. So you found a comic. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about it, Jingo. Jingo, if you'd like. You've got the floor, so to speak. So while I'm looking for this, I'm just looking for some information on the next person I'm talking. White Canary was cool. I think my favorite part of like the Brightest Day, especially, was Deadman, because I've always been a big Deadman fan. So I thought it was cool the way they handled Deadman. So I thought that was really neat. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this next character a little bit while I'm looking at his information. Uh, the strip that basically, not even a strip, the person that works on this, his name is Jid Lid Universe, and I'll have a link to his channel as well. Now, I will have to put out there up front that some of the stuff he does is probably not very family friendly. But just to let you know that up front, and the reason I say that is because I tend to try to direct my stuff as family friendly. But he had requested that I do one of his characters, and so I decided to pick Quirin for Hire. And so Quirin for Hire is a fantasy story he's doing on YouTube where he's talking about, hey, Steph, how's it going? How's it going? Glad you're here, sister from another mister. Stephanie is like a sister to me in real life, y'all. So she's really cool people. She, on her channel, she does like piping stuff and things like that. She talks about different pipe things and things. But I miss you too. I'm still trying to work out Houston because I know and when I say we had a talk, you know who I'm talking about that I had to talk with, not you per se, but we had a talk and basically they were like, well, we're going to try to get you in next year, but we just want to have a chance to do some things different, but we'll get you in next year. And, but we still want you to come if you can. So I don't know whether I'm coming to Houston for the con or not. I'm not for sure. It's kind of one of those days where I feel like, I feel like I should come, but at the same time, I just don't know. I don't want to go down there just to go to the con and then next year hit the same wall. You know what I mean? So, but I'll put this out there. We'll just go with the flow on it. We'll just come for an art fair. Is there an art fair going on during the same time? We'll check it out. We'll definitely see, because I would love to get involved in something like that. That'd be cool. I didn't know there was an art fair option available. But anyway, so this is Quirin. Now, Quirin is a character that Jidlid Universe, there are art fairs all the time. Yeah, in Houston there are. You're not wrong about that. So I'll definitely look into it. We'll talk. We'll discuss it. Because I have ways to get in touch with you outside of the wonderful world of YouTube. So we'll talk. Because that's something I would love to do. Thank you so much. You rock too with your paintings and your cyberpunk. And Stephanie does also cyberpunk stuff, the piping artist Steph that's on here now, guys. So give her some love. Say hey. She does a lot of art trades and things like that. And so, if that's something you're into, if you enjoy a good smoke of a pipe every now and then, go check out her channel. She's got some great stuff on there. Her and her husband Skip. She talks a lot about her kids. She does a lot of neat, geeky, nerdy stuff as well. So she is definitely unique. Oh, tobacco only, pipes tobacco only. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to preface that. So pipe tobacco only. So I didn't think about that. I don't think about prefacing it, but yeah. So it's definitely tobacco pipe. There we go. So that's the that on that. But anyway, so I'm drawing Quirin for Hire. He is a bounty hunter in a fantasy storyline. I watched through the first 4 or 5 episodes, and there's a point where he's fighting a werewolf, and he has this buddy of his who's really tiny, but he can grow into a huge, gigantic fantasy creature, but he can only do it for so long. And so it's really kind of an interesting story. I'm gonna get back in there, Jidlid Universe. I'm gonna get back in there and watch some more of it because I want to see what happens to Quirin, with him being the bounty hunter and everything. I like that concept. I like the basic concept of a bounty hunter in more of a fantasy arc. So I think that's really cool. So I'm drawing Quirin. Now I, of course, being me, I kind of drew him a little bit different than he is. The hardest part for me with him was I was trying to find reference pictures for him. And so I went to the videos and looked at it. There wasn't a whole lot of maybe pictures of him with his shirt on or something shirt off. I'd love to grow a large, throw a smackdown on some zombies. That would be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty neat. Do a zombie run and then just get bigger and just outpace the zombies by stepping on them. And that'd be kind of weird because then it's like, they'd be stepped on, you know, zombies smashing by giants. But yeah, but yeah, he's definitely got in there. He animates a lot of them himself, so they're all animated little videos of his, so they're pretty cool. So I just wanted to give. Oh, and the camera fell. Sorry, guys. And we're gonna pick this back up and reset it. Sorry about that. That's not what I planned for at all. Okay, so let me make sure. There we are. Sorry about that, gang. All right, we're back. Everything's good. Okay, I'm gonna lay in his hair. He's got this really kind of thick, I'm gonna call it 80s hair. Kind of reminds me of like Tom Selleck. Kind of Tom Selleck-y, black, kind of slick hair. I don't know that like Knight Rider maybe too, possibly. I'm not for sure. But anyway, gonna draw some OCs while I watch. That's fine, Sal. Go ahead and draw some OCs. That'd be cool, man. I'd like to see what you got going on there. Unlike some artists, unfortunately, I don't have a cool hashtag or anything to go with just yet. I'm just really getting back in the live stream thing. I hadn't live streamed in a while, and so I thought I would come back into it this way. I love when mishaps happen. It's so fun looking to do books. And so, yeah, I saw you a message about that on Instagram. That's that apocalyptic series you were talking about, right, Steph? She was been reading an apocalyptic book series, and I saw a post on Instagram the other day where she was talking about it. So that's a book that she's recommending as far as apocalyptic type end of the world type stuff. So if you're into that, that's a good book series. She would recommend. Saturday Show Your Art. I'm gonna check out your channel. Good. That's really cool. I like to hear about other writers that are out there, especially doing sci-fi type stuff. Different things like that. That's pretty neat. Social media is where I post my art. Okay, well, do me a favor. Can you put like your Instagram thing in there, Saul? Can you put your Instagram tag in there? And what I'll do is when I get done, I'll find that art for you, and then that way I'll join the Saul army and chat with you and get to know you better through your social medias. That'd be cool. So we will come through here. We'll finish the hair out. I don't have Instagram, but I have Twitter and Tumblr. Well, yeah, Steph, and I thank you for that information. Sal, I have Instagram. My Instagram is Will Holland 9973. So if you want to go check that out, but I'm not really on Tumblr that much. I don't think I've been on Tumblr at all. I'm not on Twitter that much. I got on Twitter for a while, and it just seemed very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very kind of caustic. So I don't do a whole lot of Twitter stuff. That's just me. But that doesn't mean that others can't do it. It's just not something I get down with. So, but anyway. Yeah, that's kind of Twitter. I got to the place where Twitter it just became a lot of noise, and it wasn't noise in a good light. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't something where people were trying to learn anything. So Ronnie came back as the Black Lantern. It was interesting because he was able to be a Firestorm all by himself. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He looked pretty wicked and cool there too. He had like the black white. He had like the black and white color scheme. So that's real cool. Yeah. Stephanie's kids do a lot of drawing and stuff. They do a lot of geeky things. They do a lot of cosplays and a lot of art, different things like that. Stephanie teaches art on the side, so she does a really good job teaching art. So, and anyway, yeah, her son and her daughter do a lot of geeky things. So it's cool stuff. If you get a chance to check that out. Stephanie and I met in Houston, and we've just been friends ever since. So, but Jingles, to brag on Jingles Rascal, even though we already talked about Jingles a bit. Jingles Rascals is just really cool. Forcibly fusing to Stein to fill that empty. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was kind of one of the subplots for the Black Lantern version of Firestorm. Yeah, he was he was kind of crazy. I do have an Instagram, but I don't use it. I'll go and see if I can log in. Sal, if you can log into your account, just share your link with us because we'd love to see your art on there. Instagram, I feel like it's the best place for me because I can just post my stuff and it'll let people respond, either good or bad or indifferent. So I think that's really cool. Okay. I wanted to capture some of the age in Quirin's face. Quirin has been through a lot, as I've seen in the different episodes of the little show that he's got going, the little anime show that he's got going. So I love the opportunity to put some of the character in his face as well. So I'm just getting the basic hand stuff out there. Kind of was trying to, since he's a bounty hunter, I was kind of like, well, he needs a gun, but at the same time, he's a fantasy character. So I don't know that he would have a regular gun like everybody else would, because again, I don't know that, some mythical creatures would be able to be dealt with through conventional weapons. Okay, I gotta regulate because the teams are fighting. Oh no, not the kiddos fighting. That's not cool. Well, tell them to behave, Stephanie. Tell them Uncle Will said they need to chill. I don't know if they'll accept that from me, but the spawn. I don't know if they'll accept that from me, but I hope so. I remember one thing Stephanie said about me was she said, not only do I think he's cool, my kids think he's cool too. So I get to be that cool uncle. So that's pretty awesome. But anyway, so yeah, just be good for the mama. That's an awesome thing. Trust me, you treat your parents with respect and dignity, you're gonna have a lot better time in life. I will. They need a visit from their Uncle Will. Maybe you could make them chill. I tell you what, we'll have a conversation about it. Like I said, we'll definitely have a conversation soon, sister. So take care. Make sure the kids don't kill each other. I'm in my Insta. Yay. Okay, go ahead and post your Instagram link, and that way we can follow you there, so we can see what kind of art you're doing. Or once you post some art up there, then do it. However you want to do it. You may say, well, I don't have art up there yet, but I will go ahead and post the link, and then that way I can do it, and that's fine too. So here we go. I'm just laying down some general rules. I got Quirin finishing out his little bounty hunter get up. I don't know how Jidlid Universe is going to feel about this. The Firestorm that was there was Jason Roush and Grajeda. Have they done anything with Firestorm in the new fit? Have they done anything with Firestorm recently? I know they've been doing a lot of stuff with the Rebirth and all that, but I didn't know if they were doing anything new with him. I was just curious, because I would like to actually see that character get some more love. I know that the Aqualad, somebody spoke of earlier, the Aqualad was on the Titans, on the new Teen Titans group. So he's with them. I hadn't read any new stuff. Yeah, I think really with DC, I'm kind of limited as to what I read for obvious reasons, just because I can't read everything. I can't afford to read everything. So I have to pick and choose my battles carefully and pick which ones I'm going to rock with. And so I know Young Justice for me is kind of my big one because that was a series I loved in the 90s. And so when I heard they were going to redo it, yeah, just put your Instagram handle in here, and that way we can get it. And like I said, I may not be able to look at it now, but I'll definitely look at it once we get done, and I'll go ahead and subscribe to you, and then you can start posting your artwork up there. I feel like Instagram's one of the best places to do that with. I really do. And I need to post more art up there. I hadn't posted art up there in a while myself, so I need to post some more art. So, but anyway, we're going to finish up the bounty hunter here. Trying to just give that old age leather jacket look to him. That way he looks like an old grizzled man that has a friend that can turn into a giant. And like I said, I know there's more to the story. If I'm gonna put this out there, if Jidlid Universe, if you come on here at any point, could you care to explain some more about your characters? Maybe stuff I haven't seen in the episodes I haven't seen yet. I don't care for spoilers. I don't mind them too much, but it'd just be cool to hear from you since you're the one creating the universe that you're building. So it'd be neat. So anyway, like I said, just trying to get that little aged jacket look to it. Gonna go through and do the pants. Get the arms in there and then wrap this up. Anybody seen any good movies lately? Have I seen any good movies? Anybody seen any good cartoon movies maybe, or regular movies they want to discuss while we're in here? I like to get to know people beyond just the art stuff. I like to kind of hear from them every so often. So I throw questions out there while I'm doing live streams, especially. Put this glove on. How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. I heard it was a really good movie. Some friends of mine took their kids and grandkids over to see that movie. Lots of people from work were talking about it. So, How to Train Your Dragon, I've heard was really, really awesome. And it's kind of the end of the trilogy, I guess. I don't know for sure, based on how, I'm not for sure if they'll continue that movie series or not. Which, I mean, it's DreamWorks, they could totally do that. Oh, that's right. You did post a video up that said something about take tissues to see How to Train Your Dragon or something like that. So, yeah, I could see that makes sense that you would have cried during it if it was sad. I cried during Enter the Spider-Verse, so I'm not gonna lie. End up forcing Jason and Jen apart and absorbing Jason that killed Jen, turning her into so. Yeah. Now that you say that, I'm reminded of that. I remember how they did the whole thing where basically they did some really interesting stuff in the Blackest Day, Brightest Day stuff. I think my favorite scene in that was when everybody that was a Black Lantern became a White Lantern. When Sinestro, basically Sinestro says, look, Hal Jordan, you've always been the hero. That's your biggest problem. You've always been the hero. Anytime anyone else wanted to be the hero, they couldn't because you were always the one. I'm gonna be the hero. And so Sinestro jumps up and grabs the white entity, and then everybody comes out the next page, and they're all White Lanterns. I was just like. It was just cool because that was one of the few times I ever saw Sinestro be selfless. Because Sinestro doesn't typically do that. He just kind of usually does his own thing. But that particular moment, he was definitely the hero. He definitely rewrote history. Been waiting for new movies yet. Spider-Verse on Blu-ray and DVD, I believe, comes out March the 13th. I know right now the digital version's out. But they launched the digital version 3 weeks before the actual movie came out. So I'm kind of upset about that because I saw a thing on YouTube. Somebody was talking about the Enter the Spider-Verse. They said Enter the Spider-Verse release information. I was like, oh man, is it out? And so then they were like, I went and looked at it. They were like, yeah, it's out for the digital format today. But it won't come out in the other format for another 3 weeks. I was just like, ugh. Not a happy person at all. Not a happy person. But you live, you learn. So anyway, let me hit some highlights in here, get some darker blacks in, and then I will go back and do the gun on Mr. Quiron for Hire here. So. As I'm working, we've talked about Enter the Spider-Verse. I want that on Blu-ray and DVD so bad. It's not even funny, y'all. I cried during that movie. I loved it. I loved the whole Miles becoming the hero. I loved how, there was a point where, They didn't do the typical thing where it's like, oh, I want to be a hero, and then he just becomes a hero. It's like, I want to be a hero. Well, you're not ready to be a hero. And they kind of do that whole thing, and you know, Peter comes up, Peter Parker, the one that's alive still, comes up to him, basically says, you know, look, you get out of this, and then we'll talk. So he webs him to a chair, and so there's this beautiful moment where his dad is talking to him. His dad's like, I know you don't really want to talk right now. I just want to let you know that I'm here for you, whatever. You know, and he doesn't move, and he's just like, okay, son, I love you. You know, he just walks away, and you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Because Miles on the other side of the door wanting to talk to his dad, but he can't because he's been tied down to this, chair that he's in. He can't get out of it. So I find it really cool that they did that in a scene. I thought the father-son relationship in that movie was one of the greatest father-son relationships I've seen in film, as far as I'm concerned. So I kind of gave him a gun that was shaped like a water gun. Because again, I really, in the stuff that I saw, in the videos I saw of him in it, I really didn't see a whole lot of like weaponry. So I just decided to give him a weapon. And like I said, since he's a bounty hunter, I figured he would need one of some kind, even if he's dealing with mythical creatures. So. And there is Quiron for hire. So the bounty hunter himself. So I'm going to change the perspective a little bit on this and get the last character drawn. And let's come down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Straighten out the camera so it stays up. There we go. Okay, so this character was a final character, and I was fortunate enough to get this from a person that was on Instagram. She saw one of my videos on my channel, and she had a OC that she had drawn, and so she was like, "Well, would you draw my OC?" I'm like, "Well, sure, I'd be glad to." And so she posted up on her Instagram, and then that way I could see it. So I was trying to get the story up so I could read it about her. Basically, she's an alien that she gets brought on to like this police force that her dad wants her to come on board with. And so the thing about her that's interesting is she ends up getting into an accident and losing her arms and legs. And so she ends up, as she works for law enforcement at this alien company, they end up giving her replacement arms and legs. So it's like cybernetic arms and legs. So basically she has to, attach all these on whenever she goes out on the force. This comic is really disturbing. I'm going to put it away, but I will say I really like how the Black Lanterns turn out. Okay, website version on the tablet. I don't have enough space on my tablet. Oh, man. Well, we'll still follow you, Sal, if you want to go ahead and do that. And once you're able to figure out how to do that, you can upload pictures. That's fine. I think my favorite lanterns, to be honest, are the white ones, because the white ones, or I think it's the indigo lanterns, the ones that do hope. I think those are my second favorite. Those are my main favorite. And I know like John Stewart was several different powered lanterns at one point. I know he was violet, he was green, of course, because that's what he was beforehand, before there was a thing. How far back is the puppy video? Let me give you the title. I will search it real quick. Hang on a second. I'll search it and see. Blue Does Hope. Yeah, I'm glad you got me on that one, Jingles. So Blue is hope. And I guess for me, I think blue speaks to me the most because I feel like there's always hope, even in the worst situation. My faith is part of who I am, and so my faith helps me to understand that there's hope in spite of my circumstance. So that's one reason why I always tend to go toward that, even if other people look at me and say, you're crazy. It's just like, well, you may feel like I am, and that's fine. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm me, and I'm glad that God is God, and He knows more than I do about my situation. So, okay. And so she was asking about the video list there. I thought I was able to do that. Why are you not letting me pull up my channel information? Oh, Jon Stewart leads the blue ones when he's blue at one point. That's cool. I am glad to hear that. And the thing about Jon Stewart that's even cooler, beyond just the fact that he's a Green Lantern, he was a military guy, so his strategies are very centered. Um, he has a very unique position in the Corps. So bear with me just a moment. I need to find this video real quick. Okay. I think it might be that one. There's one video on here. It's going to play a clip of my video, I think. I'm not for sure. So we're going to go ahead and put our eyebrows in. But anyway, I should have wrote her name down, and I do apologize. I didn't, y'all. Just get her basic facial features in there. And what I may have to do is type up, I'll give the link to her channel as well, because she does have a YouTube channel on here as well. So I'll give the link to her channel on here, and that way you guys can get to know her. Hopefully, like I told her, I said, I hope to see her draw a video of this character on her channel at some point. Discord. I wish I had a Discord. I don't. I know I probably sound out of sorts and old fashioned. I just don't have a Discord myself. I've heard a lot of people talk about Discords and Amoeba and all this other stuff. I just don't have those things yet. Could I get them at some point? Probably, but I don't know when that will be. So anyway. So one of the things I did was I decided for the design, since when she drew the picture without her arms and legs attached, her bionic ones. So I decided, I was like, well, when she has her arms and legs attached, they're very metal, they're very non-lifelike. It's like Skype for gamers. Okay, I get that. That I understand. But anyway, so I decided to put some sort of attachment piece. So that's why this looks kind of like a nut. So that way, when she puts that on, she can just attach it. She basically slaps it on. It attaches itself to everything that's left, and then basically that way she can use them like arms. It's a neuro connector. So I kind of played with the design a bit. That way we could add to her story a little bit there. And we are just about done with her. Get the mouth done, because one of the things that's interesting about her character design is that her lips are black. Her lips are black, and her eyes are kind of fully pupil. There's no other color in her eye besides that. So I thought I'd create a slightly different thing to give her a more alien appearance. So that's why we're going with this approach to her lips, kind of. Like not like human lips where there's the curvature and all that. I kind of want to give her flat lips on the top and bottom. So that's one reason why I went with it the way I did there. So, and like I said, guys, everybody that gets their stuff in here, as long as they've got a YouTube channel, I'll make sure to do a link to it as well. That way we'll be able to, you'll be able to show your artwork off as well. Powerful Lanterns are the blue ones, but they can only know their full potential when working alongside a Green Lantern. Yeah, that was one of the cool things about those books too, is that you got to see the different Lantern Corps work together, which I thought was neat. So it's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get her some color in her hair, because another thing too, her hair was very gray with some blacks in it, things like that. So I'm gonna kind of play with the hair idea a little bit. This is true. It's kind of like when people say, I have a dream to do something, It's like, okay, I have a dream to do something. What are you going to do to make that dream happen? But you write so well, Clarinda. You do. And you have a lot to say on your channel as far as different things and relating to different issues. But you also talk about just stuff like Xena and stuff like that. I don't know many people on this planet that know as much about Xena as you do. So, and of course, you got the cosplay and you got to meet Renee O'Connor. Is it Renee O'Connor or just Renee Connor? The girl who played Gabrielle on the series. So, you know, you may not be able to draw like me, but that doesn't mean you can't write or, you know, and you got such a cute dog. Come on, man. You know, Renee O'Connor, there we go. I knew it was one of them. So I just wasn't sure whether it was Renee Connor or Renee O'Connor. And she got to meet her. We laughed about meeting different people because like I got to meet Mark Henry and LeVar Burton. And it's funny because I know I was at work when I was talking about meeting LeVar Burton and they were like, who's LeVar Burton? And I'm like, really? Who's LeVar Burton? This is true, Sal. This is so true. Everybody has their unique talents. So do with what you have. That's the main thing. I'd always recommend to people. Find the thing you're good at and work on that. You know, we only have one life. You don't have time to try to sit there and be, you know, like everybody else. You weren't born to be like everybody else. You were born to be you. There's only one you on the planet. Just you. Okay, Corinda, you're going to look up the Drawing Time with Will comment speed drawing and comment contest winner. That's the one you're going to look up. That's the one where I've got the drawing of Deadpool and your dog. So your dog is not in it alone. Your dog also has Deadpool in there too. So there you go. Like I said, I make a mistake. We'll have to figure that out at some point. Because I drew the wrong type of dog. So that's that video. So sometimes when I do these, I try to do them in the regular videos during the week. You just know she's cute. That's all that matters, right? That's all that counts. That works. Okay. Get that volume in the hair there. Hair, you know, a lot of people talk about hands. And yes, hands are difficult to draw. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much of a master you are. Hands are always difficult. But hair is like one of the second most difficult things. Because there's so many small strands, you don't have time to recreate every little strand. But at the same time, you can't just go, oh, here's black, here's hair. You know, because then it has no volume, then it has no shape. It just has mass. So nobody wants to see that. So you know you gotta have some diversity in your hair. So all right, and there's our third character, and there we are with that. Now, guys and girls, continue to think. Does anybody have any requests? Anybody have any requests for anything they'd like to see me draw? I'm gonna kind of hit the back of this here. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. I will go ahead and do a little fine tuning on the hair there. Catch those straight edges. What do you take as far as requests? Well, for right now, like normally, like I said, if we have a way to share the video, I can go in and do like OCs. But if you don't have a way of doing that, then what we can do for right now, at least for this first one, since I haven't really done a live stream like this in a while, I haven't really done a live stream at all. If you've got a comic book character, a favorite comic book character, or something like that I can draw, I'll definitely put that through for right now. And then what we'll do in the future is if we've got OCs we want to do, then what I'll do on that is I'll do requests for those OCs, and we'll communicate with each other to make sure I get pictures prior to it. That way I can have something to base a reference off of. So That's kind of the idea right now. So if you have a favorite comic book character, go ahead and put that down in the comments. I'd like to see your favorite comic book characters and see what kind of ones I can draw for you. Well, might as well draw some of the JLA characters. I want to see Hawk Girl. Okay, Hawk Girl we can do. Okay. Go back and work on the gun a little bit. All right. So Hawk Girl. I'm going to do a little research on it. I'm not a big comic book person, so I'm not really sure. Sal, do you have any characters from... Oh, you got another Hawk Girl fan in the house. There we go. Jingles Rasco just made somebody's day. Didn't even know it. All right, so bear with me just a moment. Hawk Girl. I'm doing a search on my computer on the other side of this so I can get some reference. Because Hawk Girl is not somebody I can draw from zero reference at all. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and put Hawk Girl right here. So go ahead and get a base circle laid down here. There we go. Okay, images. Her mask is really fun. I like Hawk Girl's mask. You know, Hawk Girl's mask kind of reminds me a bit of Wolverine's, except it's a little bit more full body, and then also it is very wingy. Has a lot of wings on it. So go ahead and lay out the eye line there. I know you typically see like the white of her eyes, so we're gonna go here with this one. Oh, so you did see the video. That's awesome. Okay, I'm glad you finally saw it. I wasn't for sure. That was the main thing. I wanted to portray the cuteness as well, so that was the main deal. Okay, so let's go with... I kind of like that one. So let me pick that reference up here. So, always fun tip, guys. Whenever you're doing eyes, you always want to make sure you have at least an eye between them. And you don't want to ever have the eyes too close or too far away. So, are you able to do non-character characters? Put the character in there, Saul. Let's see what I can do. Like I said, I'll do Hawk Girl, and then we'll work on the next one. So, yeah, if you got like Harry Potter or something like that, we'll get you to eventually draw the whole JLA. Yeah, that might be a special one for another video. Like, we'll sit down and be like, okay, so we're going to do the big three first, and then we'll do the other ones. Okay, so the little beak of the outfit for her comes down kind of right over the eyes, and then does this number, and then comes over the top. So they're just going to branch out onto the top of the thing, go over a bit. What up? Like, hey, it's T-Man the Hero. How's your little one? I saw the cutest picture the other day of your little one, man, and she's just the cutest button still. I know that I may be biased, but she's a cutie. She knows it. I'm sure she knows it on a regular basis. So, T-Man, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of my buddies from Texas, and he has the cutest little girl. So. There you go. Let's get the wings out of there. She got a haircut. Looks kind of like a little boy now. Yep, just making sure. Yeah, I'm glad she's doing well, man. She's good. How's your mom? Is your mom still working at the Dollar Tree? We don't want to go into details as to where. We don't want to need any stalking situations. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do her lips here. Fun fact about Hawk Girl, in the Justice League cartoon, they had originally talked about introducing Vixen at the very beginning and having Vixen be the girlfriend of John Stewart. But then Bruce Timm and them kind of fought against it because they were like, well, first of all, Vixen's not on the main team. Why would we have this girl that's not on the main team being the love interest? And then on top of that, kind of the idea that, you go through the whole Thanagarian thing at the end of season 1, and you don't want her to, we want her to have love in her life, and so that's kind of where they picked up the idea to have John Stewart be the love interest in the first arc of the Justice League cartoon. So there's a fun fact for you. I think S Comic Maker said best, we're going to have it. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. You're going to have another little one. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be cool. I hope your little miss is excited to be a big sister. That's going to be pretty neat. So that'll be awesome, man. That'll be cool. Yeah, we got a loving community of people around here, man. They're loving on it too. That's pretty awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's pretty neat. Okay, so I'm trying to get this head worked out. And part of it's because you really can't see the other end of it. So I'm going to shave to come in and bring it so, like so. And then we'll have to black it out. But unfortunately with this, you're not really going to be able to see the other side of her head because her head's got it here already. Let me get that shape of the, make her face a little bit more feminine in the arc there. I'll do some texturing. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the black, I call it. Come in on this side behind there. Yeah, tomorrow I have to go run. I ordered the Umbrella Academy trade paperback from a store. And when I ordered them, I got a real sweet deal on them. The problem is, when I got my books in, none of them were the Umbrella Academy. They were like 6 or 7 or 8 different comic books that weren't the Umbrella Academy at all. So I had to message the guy immediately. It was like, hey, Umbrella Academy's not in here. And so then he responded back to me. He's like, oh, man. He said, yeah, one of our other people got a package with your Umbrella Academy books in it instead. I'm like, what? So, yeah, I've got to send out the other comics that they sent us accidentally. They're supposed to be hooking us up with a comic for free or something like that due to the error. So that'll be cool. Let me come in on this side. Go ahead and get the other side up. Go ahead and get the other side up there. Then we'll go ahead and hit these lines. So since Jingles put this out there, anybody got a favorite Justice League character besides Hawkgirl? I did John Stewart for an earlier video, so I've drawn him. I don't mind drawing him again. He's one of my favorite Green Lanterns. He's one of my favorite characters, so I would never mind drawing him again. But anybody else got any? And I've done Batman several times. You know, it's funny. As much as I love Superman, I don't think I've ever drawn a Superman for this channel. I think I need to remedy that at some point. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this. I had to reorganize my comic shelf to put the mess back. It's not the way it works. I've been getting, I'm part of a club on Facebook, a group on Facebook that's called the Comic Book Shopping Network. And so I had the rare opportunity to pick up the early run of the Young Justice comics from the 90s. So I've gotten a bunch of those. I've not gotten the complete series, but I'm really close to getting the complete series for that. And so anyway, I've got just Batman's my favorite, but I don't think that counts. Well, again, it counts. It's your favorite regardless. I mean, I've known I've drawn Batman, but that doesn't mean I can't draw him again. Drawn Batman a few times. Batman is just interesting. He is one of the most recognized characters in the world, but he is also one of the most paranoid characters in the world. To the point where he's been on teams where he's built defenses to take them all out. I think the book series is the Lazarus Contract, where he basically has found out, it may not be the Lazarus Contract, where Vandal Savage finds the proof that he has been secretly building up files against the Justice League in case something happens and he had to deal with them. So then they find out that he has these contingency plans, and they literally use these contingency plans to just about take out the whole entire Justice League. So I believe the biggest part of it is actually Steel in the books, but then like in the actual series and in the animated movie, they did a thing called Justice League War. They basically did it. Barry had too many mistakes that has had consequences on everybody. It's made me really not like him. You know, I the thing about the Flash, the thing that I love about the Flash is the same thing I also hate about the Flash. It's like he is a science hero. He really is a science-based superhero. The thing I don't like about him is because he's a science-based hero, science-based Barry, and that's why I like Wally more. Wally is definitely more of the I've always admired this person, but I really feel like there's more that could be done type. So I think that's what makes Wally better in a lot of ways. I got a buddy who's like a Flash nut, and so he will tell me stories about Wally West and Barry Allen and Bart Allen. Of course, Impulse was probably my favorite just because Impulse was in Young Justice. Um, so the question is great. I love the question. I love what they did with him, especially like Justice League Unlimited, when the question started showing up and was trying to deal with the whole conspiracy and Armageddon and all that. If you're a cartoon fan at all and you love the Justice League Unlimited stuff, you need to do yourself a big favor and go watch the series with the question in it when he's trying to take down Cadmus. If for no other reason, just because at one point the question sings a pop song. Like he's looking at a thing. He's like, I'm in love again, and I don't know how to tell my friends. It just happened. You walked through my door, and I don't want to be alone no more. And he just smashes the thing through a glass window. And yeah, just for that alone, it's worth it. Just because you see this guy who's been beating up people and all this other stuff, and he's just singing a pop song that might or might not be inspired by Britney Spears. So, okay, we got Hawk Girl done there. And as a matter of fact, guys, at some point I'll make sure to do a full Hawk Girl video on the channel. So that way I can get to do like a full body shot of her. So I had somebody ask me if I did non-comic book characters. So I believe it's Sal's Corner. So who did you have in mind, Sal? If you're still on with us. Thank you. I take my bow. Glad y'all liking the Hawk Girl action there. Let me do something real quick just to gonna go ahead and bring those whites out in the lines a little bit more. Okay, so then that comes down and then that goes out. Actually, I like a lot of the Justice League characters. Thank you. I appreciate that. Saki from Saki K. Best anime character. Hang on. It's an anime character. We can do anime too. I've done a few anime pieces actually. I did Deku from My Hero Academia a while back. During October actually is when I did it. So let me see. Saki. My Hero Academia. Yeah, My Hero Academia is awesome. Okay, so I put it in a search for Saki. Let me see if I can get a link there to it. So bear with me just a moment. I really want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this live stream. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You rock. All of you. Don't let anybody tell you different. I don't care what your day was like today. I'm here to tell you rock. Boku no Waki Meki. You should put my dog just randomly in pics. So every so often like a random background or something. That might be an interesting idea. Saki K anime. Because apparently just typing in Saki doesn't really help me much. I get something about a British psychologist by the name of Saki. So that won't work as much. So while I'm looking that up, let me go ahead and pull this up just a second. Sorry for the mess. And put this paper back behind there. That way I don't have stuff bleeding through. Okay, so Just out of curiosity, is Saki the one with the green glasses? He's got a red head with the green glasses. So make sure I'm looking at the right person. Okay, get that there. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this. Get that idea there, get the head shape. So, okay. Back a little wacky. He's got the pink hair with things sticking out of his head with the glasses. Okay, yeah. So I just want to make sure I got the right person. Okay, so let me look at this picture. I think the thing I like about My Hero Academia is the fact that there's a character who starts out not being a lot, basically being told in his world, basically being told you're worthless, you don't mean anything. Because you look at the story, of everybody having these perks, everybody having these abilities, and then come to find out that he wants to be a hero but doesn't have any of those abilities. And so he starts off very, very concerned because, of course, even when he's talking to his mother, and his mother's just like, "No, I'm sorry, you're never going to be a hero." And it's just like, you gotta be kidding me. But then he goes and meets All Might, and then the rest is history. The rest is him learning to become the hero that he's meant to be. So even though he doesn't necessarily know what that looks like yet, he gets the opportunity. I'm going to pull this up a little bit, obviously, because there's the head thing. So I think, and I watched up through they did the trials and they did the whole thing where Stain came through and the whole fight with the hero killer. And I got to that part. That's where I stopped watching it. So eventually I'll pick it up and be able to do the other stuff. It's just kind of crazy to get there. Okay. So for some reason, okay, so let's just start with this. Okay, so he's got kind of I want to check the head shape. He's got more of a point for the head at the end, point for the cheek, point for the... Okay, so I'll make sure I got his head shape right. Okay, so first things first, his eyes. He's got kind of the, here. Yeah, I mean, if you look at shoujo stuff and everything, I mean, you look at stuff like Naruto, you look at stuff like Dragon Ball Z, you look at stuff like My Hero Academia, it's very similar in vent. The funny thing is, the difference is, like, for example, with Goku even, Goku has these abilities he doesn't even understand. When we first meet Goku, man, he's just like, I live on Earth. I don't know what you're talking about. And then he slowly ends up becoming who he becomes, but he's just like initially, I don't want any part in this, man. I'm an Earthling. I have a kid. I have a family. What are you talking about? And then Raditz, of course, comes in. He's just like, you're gonna come with me and you're gonna save the world, or take over the world. He's like, no, I'm not. They kidnap this kid, which, I mean, I don't care who you are. Anybody gets a kid kidnapped, they're gonna be ready to fight, or should be ready to fight. And if you're not ready to fight when your kid gets kidnapped, that's a bad sign for you as a parent. Yep. Getting to a place, reaching the goals you have, and learning how to overcome obstacles. Because you see a lot of those obstacles, you see a lot of things having to be overcome in order for that to happen. Especially with Deku, because Deku is not only having to overcome the goals of having powers that he didn't have access to, but then also learning how to control them. Because he even told early on, he's like, it's nothing for you to have these abilities if you can't control them, if you can't figure out how to make them work for you. You're going to tear your body up trying to do it this way. You have to find a way to make these abilities work better. And so it's a very interesting idea. I like it a lot. So I'll make sure I got the eyebrows light there. Yeah. I will sometimes make random noises in videos, guys, so let me know that ahead of time. I'll say this right off the bat. I don't normally like watching dubbed. I love watching dub stuff better than I like sub stuff. I'm not a sub guy as much. But I will say this, when it comes to watching Naruto, I would much rather watch the subbed version. And the reason why I'd much rather watch the subbed version is because Naruto's voice gets on my nerves in the American version. Just gonna put that out there. So, like most of the time when I watch it like Dragon Ball Z or something, I prefer the dubbed version because I like the English voice better when it comes to stuff. But when it comes to Naruto, I can't get with it. Like I have to watch the sub version, man. I'm okay with it as long as I can watch it. That works out well. It really does. I don't understand what my computer is doing. I mean, look, I understand you gotta believe it. I do. I get it. But so you tell me to believe it for the 500th time, dude, we're gonna have a problem. You know, it's like, I don't care if you got the nine-tailed fox spirit in you or not. You tell me to believe it one more time, buddy. One more time, that's it. I'm done with you. I don't want to have to tell you that again. Like, just, yeah. Don't yell at me. Like, I believe it when I need to believe in you. Like, show me I need to believe in you. Oh, the cute dog is watching the stream with us. Oh, that's so sweet. I love to hear that kind of thing. That's really cool. So he pretty much has a permanent smug look on his face most of the time. I don't see him smiling in a whole lot of these pictures. So we'll keep it kind of in that same vein. Don't want to break the monotony here. Okay. So then comes this big pink hair. And I see they did a live action version of this too. Apparently they did a live action version of this show. He rarely smiles. It's so precious when he does. Well, that's cool to know. Okay, are these bows in his hair? I'm just curious. I've never watched this anime before, but now I'm intrigued. In Japanese, he says, Doteba, which means literally nonsense mouth noises. It has no meaning in Japanese. Now that's different. Okay, get the hair there. And next here, we're going to pick up the background hair here. Not much. Looks like. And then we got okay, so he's got this little thing going on at the top of the hair. That comes out here. Yeah, I got it. I will pull that up here in just a minute. That's pretty cool. Okay, so anybody know what these things are in his hair? Are they actual bows? Because they got like a little ball coming off of them, so I was just wondering. Okay, so looking at these. Okay, so we're going to do this number with them, kind of jewel it out there a little bit. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And I'm assuming this guy it may not be an alien. Is he an alien? Huh. I may check it out. Is it on Hulu? Is it on any of the streaming services? Or is it's like on Crunchyroll or something? I was curious. I've actually been, well, hello, Jessica Animates. How are you? Glad you're in the building. Glad you're in the building indeed. You rock. I'm glad you're here checking me out. It's on Netflix. Okay, then I can check it out then. So I will give it a watch. Kind of get the ideas on this. So we'll take it here, go ahead and go there. All right, there we go. And we'll bring it around. All right, so at some point I need to start inking this, don't I? Let's get some ink on these pictures. And then I'm going to have to end this. I didn't realize it was going to go quite as long. I've got to get in on my church stream. So my church out of Houston is actually going right now. So I'm going to have to get out of here just a minute to catch up with them because I can't really stream and do this at the same time. But I thank you guys so much for rocking with me on this. I greatly appreciate it. So I will finish this drawing up and then I will bounce out. But again, I thank you guys so much for sticking with me through it. Get this in, get this done. And I thank you guys for all of your comments and things. I greatly appreciate it. You guys make me want to do this more for sure. So I may have to come in. I may have to figure out how to come in earlier. So I thank you guys for coming because it's one thing for me to stream this stuff. It's another thing for y'all to come in. So but we'll finish this drawing up before I get done. That's for certain. I'll make sure I get this done, as I said there. And ear down there. Go ahead and get the hair in. All right. Come back in with the. And there are some streams like S Comic Maker, Jingles Rascal. We did a stream. He was on there for quite some time. You know, S Comic Maker does like the 5-6 hour plus streams. I hadn't quite got there yet, but I hope to. So I really do thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. You know, like I said, Jingles Rascals did his on the new Pokemon starters. So y'all go check that out. That's some great stuff, man. Give that man some love. He is the genius behind the Duck Detective, which if you've watched this channel a little bit, I did a couple of drawings of the Duck Detective on here. So that's his character. So you say one of these days when he publishes that book and it becomes like a worldwide children's book phenomena, y'all can look back and say, I met him here. Okay, well, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Definitely want to see you streaming sometime this week. You got any ideas on what you want to draw for your stream, Jingles? So we can get ready for it. Or you want to surprise us? I'm surprising people. I'm not going to tell everybody what my stuff is. I can't tell you everything. I can't hit you with everything at once. I'm thinking Wednesday. Okay, so I'll definitely come in on Wednesday and check you out. I may not be able to stay very long. My work week's really weird because now I work basically, I'm off on Sundays and Mondays. So my new day for streaming might be Monday night, actually. So that way I can stay a little bit longer. I'm not interrupted by church. So there you guys go. I thank you guys so much for rocking with me on this video. And thank you so much for streaming in. To each and every one of you, I hope you will be blessed and be a blessing to somebody. And I thank you so much for everything. You guys rock. Take care. And we will see you on the next one, guys. Go check out the playlist on the channel. Go check out some cool drawings, things like that. And be cool. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.